following his call with Netanyahu, Donald Trump has announced that they are on the same side of every issue or on the same wavelength, including Iran and trade. Now, given this sweeping alignment, how should we interpret the role Netanyahu plays in shaping Washington's approach, for instance, to the Iranian nuclear program and the current nuclear talks?
Well, obviously, Mona, they are not necessarily in private on the same wavelength as they claim in public, because it was widely reported that when Netanyahu went to Washington 2 weeks ago, he was not aware in advance of the U.S. decision to start direct negotiations with the Iranian side. So, of course, publicly, Mr. Trump will always claim that they are on the same side with Israel. But obviously, there are some differences, particularly when it comes to Iran, and not necessarily when it comes to the Palestinian issue, because, again, unfortunately, the American side, although Mr. Witkoff, the U.S. Middle East envoy, was the one who negotiated the original ceasefire agreement on January 17th, just a few days before Trump came into office, has basically given up on that ceasefire deal and gave Israel the green light to breach that ceasefire agreement and to resume its genocide war against the Palestinians in Gaza, as we have seen over the past month, at least, or even more than a month, of constant killing of innocent Palestinian civilians in order to put pressure on Hamas to release more Israeli hostages, even without officially declaring the end of the war or commitment to the withdrawal of the Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip. But nevertheless, there are obviously intensive contacts and negotiations taking place right now, whether mediated by Egypt or by Qatar. The Qatari Prime Minister was in Washington yesterday. He met with top U.S. officials. He met with U.S. Secretary of State Rubio, and he also met with Witkoff. So obviously there is something cooking, but the problem remains, and the reluctance remains on the Israeli side, particularly on Netanyahu's side, to declare an official end to the war, because this would likely lead to the collapse of his own government. And we've seen that even inside Israel itself, there is an unprecedented wave of protests by reservists from different kind of units within the Israeli army, declaring that they are not going to work for Netanyahu personally, and they demand an end to the war. I mean, again, nothing is 100% confirmed, but there are many proposals that are being traded right now, such as a long-term truce ranging between 5 and 7 years. And in return, Hamas would release the Israeli hostages in one group in return for the release of a number of Palestinian prisoners that are being held by Israel. But at the same time, nothing is going to be confirmed until a final deal is going to be reached. And finally, as you know, Mr. Trump himself is supposed to be coming to the region on May 13th to visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. So at least that's what observers expect, that before he comes to the region, they would like to see a renewed ceasefire in Gaza.